of the darkness with my yellow teeth. Very yellow. Yes. Not, well, they're definitely not white. I'll tell you that. But welcome everybody. This is an unplanned impromptu live stream. Mothra and I are very sorry that we couldn't come on Saturday, and we were supposed to get up with JS and do something this weekend with JS Garrett, and that didn't work out. So sorry about that too. But we're going to have a quick live stream here to talk about the up and coming full solar eclipse on April the 8th. What that means for you and what that means for your magic, what that has to do with Belial, what that has to do with cicadas, what it has to do with a lot of things, and what is available for you to participate in with Mothra and I if you would like to. We are going up to Virginia Beach on April the 8th. Well, really, we're going up there on April the 7th. We're going to be up there the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. And we're going to be performing a very, very insanely intense black magical ritual with Belial right there on the Virginia Beach Oceanfront in front of the 30-foot tall Belial effigy. We're going to be consecrating that and anointing it in our blood on behalf of everyone that participates in the group ritual, because we will be practicing the sacred art of the evocation of people during that ritual. Everyone that participates, which there is a limit of 30 people, and I think that we're halfway there so far, so there's about 15 slots left, give or take a few. There's either 12 or 15, I can't remember exactly, but I'll check. But there's only a few slots available to take place in the ritual, which is a two-part ritual. We will be performing the first part of it. The protection piece is going to be during the day, during the eclipse. So we're going to be calling upon Belial and anointing the effigy with our blood at around, I think, about 3 p.m. Eastern there in Virginia. I'm going to double check the time of the eclipse and when we will be experiencing the eclipse in the area that we'll be in right there on the east coast of the Virginia Oceanfront and Virginia Beach. We will be performing a protection rite. So this is going to be a very, very, very powerful magical protection that will be blanketed over you and 5 of your closest friends and family and loved ones. So you do have the option of including 5 additional names other than yours for the protection piece. The other part of it is a manifestation ritual. So you will be able to send me your petition for Belial, whatever it is that you're wishing to manifest, harnessing the power of this full solar eclipse. There's also a very, very powerful comet that's coming through during the eclipse that has horns on it, and it's kind of been dubbed like the demon comet or the devil comet or something. There's so much happening astrologically. And when you combine this with the evocation of a demonic king, especially right on the ocean front at the edge of the ocean, it really doesn't get more powerful than that. We do have some things available. You can definitely participate in the ritual, but there's pewter Belial Metalink rings. This is not one of them, but it's about this size. They should be in here like today or tomorrow, and I'll be showcasing those so that you can see those. All of the brass amulets are already gone. I do have 2 left in 925 silver. I'll showcase those as well, but I have 2 of those, and then the effigies. I've ordered some Belial effigies. Those are going to be in hopefully next week, so I can showcase those. We're only going to have 5 of those blessed effigies, so there'll be like many ways that you can participate if you would like to. There's a lot going on in the world, and every day that goes by, my eyes are being opened to all the changes and all of the craziness. I will say too that I do feel, someone had asked me about Belial being connected to scorpions. I definitely feel that through this eclipse that Belial will be connected to cicadas. And it's a crazy, crazy fun fact that on the day of this full solar eclipse, there are 2 different species of cicadas that, like, I don't know how long it's been. I should have read the article better, but it's been like a couple hundred years or something. These cicadas have been living underground, and they're going to be coming out to the earth. They're going to be rising again during this full solar eclipse. And there's like 2 different species, I believe, and like it hasn't happened, you know, in hundreds of years. So this is a very, very important thing as well. You know, cicadas, spiritually speaking, they mean renewal, rebirth, resurrection, spiritual awakening, spiritual rebirth. All of the signs are there, like pointing to like what is actually taking place. Now, it does really in many ways seem like this could be the ushering in officially of the apocalypse, like the official ushering in of the apocalypse, because things are going to begin to shift, things are going to begin to change. And when I say apocalypse, I don't really mean doom and gloom and destruction, while that could be a part of it, because in order for the things that we need to have change to change, it's not just going to be a snap of the finger and it is going to happen. These things are going to take time. These things are going to be difficult to digest, difficult to unbox, difficult to experience, but it's going to be necessary for, you know, the future generations, that we go through these birth pangs, if you will, of this coming apocalypse. I think that it's kind of like, it's hard to deny now that we are actually in it, and that we are really truly in, you know, everything is moving so fast now. You know, like things back in the day, like things used to take time to happen. Things used to take time to take place. Like time used to actually feel like 5 minutes was 5 minutes. But it seems like in our world, by and large, time is compounding, and it's like moving faster and faster and faster and faster. And with our technology, like literally things are changing overnight. Like overnight, like literally while you sleep, something that was not that way before has totally changed overnight. And like that used to occur, and it has occurred, you know, on a smaller scale, a little stupid stuff, like throughout our existence, but never has it been the way that it is before. And like I actually feel like that time is literally actually moving faster. It's not just something like that's in our mind. It's not just like gauging on our technology and gauging on the certain things that we do. You want to be a mod, Neon Freeze? Okay, well, no problem, friend. I would love for you to be a mod. You have been bestowed with the honor of the moderator, my friend. You can now do what thou wilt with that duty and that honor. And thank you, and I love you. And hey, Friar Pestle, what's up? Yeah, Thomas Marchese, and welcome Thomas, says, I believe something is going on. Nothing feels the same anymore, not even holidays. Dude, I know. Absolutely. And like, well fucking said, Thomas. Like, I totally agree with you. Like, nothing has felt the same for me in quite a while. Especially like the last 4 years. When COVID happened, when our world started really falling apart with COVID, I mean, it really started with COVID. Like I mean, it really all started with 9/11. Okay, but I digress. It started with 9/11, but something else really kicked off in our reality in the last 4 years with the COVID. I definitely feel that. Well, you all know, like, COVID, along with 9/11, it was what you call a Black Swan event. R. Wayne Steiger was talking about Black Swan events just the other day on his channel, and it was something that I had been thinking about. Like, he and I are definitely like tuned in like crazy. He and I get a lot of the same downloads and a lot of the same information, a lot of the same divination. Um, and this right here doesn't really take too much to like put it all together. Like, I do believe that the full solar eclipse on April the 8th could possibly also be the date of another black swan event in North America, in the continent of North America. In case any of you haven't noticed, they have all been, all the news outlets across the country, what have they been urging everyone to do in lieu of this coming total solar eclipse? They want you to have a full gas tank. They want you to stock up on 3 days of food, 3 days of water, any kind of, whatever you might need for at least 3 days. They're urging everyone to stock up. And like, why would they do that? Like, do you really think that it's a matter of, like, they're saying like that certain areas infrastructure is going to be overwhelmed because of the mass numbers of people that are going to be coming out just to watch the eclipse? Like, most people are going to be at work during that time. Like, most people, it's going to be like the middle of the day to the late afternoon. Most people are going to be at work. However, you have a lot of schools closed that day. There's like tons of school closures all across the nation. Okay, they're also urging you to stock up on food, water, and any of the other essentials. They're also urging you to stay at home. Okay, so why would they be doing that across the country if they didn't know that there was something that's coming? Like, there's something that they're going to do, like, I've been waiting for it. And if something like that does happen on the 8th, people are really going to then have to really, really watch what they say and do from then on out, right? Because if they tell you to get ready in the future, you better get ready. I'm not going to be at home. I'm going to be 2 hours away. I'm going to be on the Virginia Beach Oceanfront. If something does go down, that's where I'm going to be. I would highly suggest, just because of everything that's going on, just because of the energy that I have been feeling surrounding this, I really think that it is a good idea for you all to play it safe and stock up on some things. I've been telling you to stock up for a while now. 3 days ain't going to do nothing for you. Hey, Nina the Mystic. What? Whoa. Hey, so Nina says, this is Nina the Mystic. My other channel got taken down. I'm sorry, Nina. Well, I definitely want to talk to you about that. Like, I am really, really, really sorry to hear that has happened, sweetheart. Like, wow. I'm sorry, my friend. Like, it's going to work out, whatever's going on. But yeah, we could actually, we could be losing power. Everything, there's a lot of predictive programming going on. And we really have to watch out for that predictive programming too, because they literally do tell you pretty much everything that they're going to do. And that's part of them avoiding the karma of their actions. If they show you their hand, that alleviates the karmatic retribution on them spiritually, and they'll just carry out whatever it is that they want to do. But enough of gloom and doom. Like, whatever happens on the eclipse on that day, it is going to be necessary for our evolution. It might be hard to handle. There might be some like mega things that we need to experience and to deal with, and it might suck in the moment, but like, let's face it, and we all know, like, really, in order for things to change in the ways that we need them to change, for our own health, for our own sanity, for our own, for those of us that are going to come after us in the future, these types of radical changes that we need are not changes that come overnight, and they're not changes that come easily. Like, there's going to be hell to pay for these changes. Like, it's going to be chaos. And that's something that I have known and have felt my whole entire life. Like, I knew that we were going to get to this point. I knew these things were going to come to pass. Um, all of us have gotten used to a level of convenience and comfort that a lot of people in the world really have no idea about. And so, if we do have that temporarily taken away from us, we're going to be okay. It's not going to be easy at first, but we'll get through it. Um, I don't think there's anyone here in this room right now that would argue the fact with me that something is going on and that big changes are coming. I think that everyone can feel it, whether they want to admit it or not, that they feel the big changes are coming. They are coming. And it's hard to say what it's all going to look like. There's not going to be anyone that's going to get away from it unscathed. We're all going to feel some type of discomfort. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. I think that is going to be a pretty exciting place to be, if you want to call it exciting. Relaxing weather. Thank you so much for 2 months as a chosen one. Hail to all of our channel members, and I love you all so freaking much. And hail to our soul family, to everyone that's here. Like, it's great to see you, and thank you for being here. All right, so Nina said she got a new Rumble account, and she's going to go live there on Sundays. Okay. Well, what happened with the channel? Like, what happened? I'm just curious as to, like, what happened there. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Aaron said I had to learn to deal with chaos as my normal daily basis. Eventually, I managed to bring the positive aspect in my life and to others as well. Hell yeah, dude. Like, I have noticed too that, like, me being a witch, me working in black magic, me just being who I am, and I have noticed, like, oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Nina. I didn't. There we go. Now you are bestowed, my sister. Yes, thank you so much. And, yeah, so a lot of people that perform black magic, a lot of witches, like, we do have a chaos component that is ingrained in us, if you will. It does seem that way. Being the black sheep, because usually, like, we're going to be the black sheep of the family, and there is a chaos component that does seem to be kind of like hardwired into us, because we are meant to shake things up. We're meant to bring forth a new way of doing things, like within the family and within the group, within the structure of things. Most of you that are here probably can relate to that too. I've talked about this before, being the black sheep. Being the one that is looked at as maybe eccentric or totally crazy, or that you have these crazy ideas, but they really don't work here in the real world. Well, like, not in the real world that they live in, because, like, that's not even real. And, like, I feel so, I feel for a lot of people, and, like, I know that, like, I don't have all the answers and that I'm like a totally crazy son of a bitch. I mean, like, if you ask, like, most of my family and most, like, normal people about me, they'll be like, oh yeah, that guy, and like, I totally get where they're coming from, because I know where they're at, and I used to be there too. And I look at them, though, as kind of crazy too, because, like, I don't see how they can't see everything that's right in front of our face. I don't know, but I do know, because it has everything to do with your third eye being opened. Like, your third eye being opened is not always going to be a fairy tale playground where you just are able to, like, discern things, certain things spiritually. You're able to, like, perform divination very well, and that you just have all the answers. Like, it's not that at all. Like, I think a lot of people really And I was one of those people too, that like I got a lot of things confused, as facts confused, as far as like what it means to have your third eye opened. Like what it means really to have your third eye open is like really seeing the world for what it is. And unfortunately it's not that. It is beautiful, and it is grand, and it is miraculous. It's all of those things, but you begin to see everything that's wrapped up in it, the good, the bad, the ugly. And there's so much bad and so much ugly now, but there's always been like there's been bad and ugly since day one, since year one. Like it's always existed, but we have certainly compounded it, multiplied it. There's a lot, there's so much craziness going on in this world. Like those of us that have went through different educational systems and schooling systems. I'm 43, I'll be 44 in April. You know, I went through 12 years of school and to technical school and stuff, and like they really kind of teach you that like all of that atrocity, all of that really evil stuff, all of the bad things have like they were worked out hundreds of years ago, right? It's already been worked out. It's already cool. The differences have been solved. There's no one else that's in slavery anymore. There's no one being sex trafficked. There's no one that is being taken advantage of unfairly. There's no one that's, you know, left in this world that's like having any of this stuff done to them. Well, it's probably happening more today than it was ever happening during the times that we read about in the history books when we were in school. Like we are living in some really crazy times, and with as much technology that we have to be able to like blow the whistle on all the crazy shit that's going on, there's so much crazy shit going on that not even technology can keep up with it anymore. Like if we really knew the degree of what was happening on this earth right here, right now, this very second, it would blow your mind. And I've seen it in different deep meditations, you know, where I like to like lay down and meditate and like basically kind of fall asleep or almost astral project. I want to get a sit down meditation practice going again, but I haven't had one in a very long time, and I know I fucking need to. I tell myself every day I need to. Usually when I meditate, I like to do it for about 30 minutes, and I generally do it lying down. And I invite you guys to do this too. You'll see a lot of the same things, I'm sure. You'll receive a lot of these same answers, I'm sure. Those of you that are very, very spiritual people, people that are very highly sensitive, highly empathic, people that are very, very awake to the truth of our reality, most of you probably haven't felt good for about 3 or 4 years. You probably felt sick for the last 3 or 4 years. You probably felt not like yourself completely for the last 3 or 4 years, because there's been a lot happening spiritually. I do believe too that the government is using psionics on us for sure, because they use them. Like if you really think that it's just us using these types of machines that are sending out frequencies and vibrations, like if you really think it's just, you know, Dr. Mulder and Uncle Chucky and J.S. Garrett and El the Alchemist and the Egg Wedding sitting down in their temples churning dials, they're definitely not the only one. Like this kind of stuff is being projected on a large scale everywhere. And I do believe that they are focusing on us. They're focusing on people like me and you, the people that have awakened, because don't forget, they're monitoring you, and they have been for probably the last 5 to 7 years heavily. Your text messages, your emails, your live streams, your videos, they know what's going on, and like they do not want, like, because you don't realize how powerful we are. I don't realize how powerful we are. I know, but I still don't know, but they do. And they're doing everything that they can to make sure that all of us don't come to that same realization. And I have a feeling that with this coming total solar eclipse on April the 8th, there is going to be a new connection point, or a new type of connection that's going to be bestowed upon the collective, that is going to allow us to become even more powerful. It's going to allow our psychic senses to become even more intermeshed, because as they take away our electronic technologies that we use to communicate, we're going to find that in its place, something that's deep down inside of us that has been dormant for so long is going to then be reawakened. And I feel that. Like, I was being shown all of these things a year ago, last February, really, when I kind of about lost my mind. And I know JA here is saying schizophrenia bound, and like, maybe so, dude. Like, I might be a schizophrenic. I don't know. But it's those schizophrenic people that are able to really show you what's going on in your world that you would have no idea about, because you just ain't there yet. You know, I don't know what else to say. I might be paranoid, I might be crazy, but I'll tell you what, I can pick out shit that's going on in our world and our reality, and 9 out of 10 times I'm right. So I don't know what you want to say about that. I might be schizophrenic, but the truth is the truth. And the shit that happens in this world is what fucking happens. So, you know, if you don't want to get ready, if you don't want to have things together, if you want to get caught with your pants down, so to speak, then that's your business, you know? I would rather not be living in this world, to be honest with you. Like, I feel pretty crazy a lot of the times, and I have felt even crazier the last 3 or 4 years, because, you know, we are in this is spiritual warfare, straight up. This is spiritual warfare that is getting interlinked with technology. It's like getting intermeshed with our technology and our wisdom, if you want to call it that. And it's really turning into a very confusing time. I'm sure that a lot of people that really aren't that spiritual, maybe they haven't experienced a lot of what I am describing and talking about, as far as the malaise, the inability to find the words that you want to say, just physical aches and pains, just like in your joints, especially like in the back of the neck, between the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, and down into the backs of the triceps. A lot of pain and aches and pains there. A lot of confusion, and just kind of like a mental fog. So a mental fog is really like what I really want to say. That has been like more prevalent now than it has been in a long time. And it's hard to say like what the reasoning of it is, but there's been so much happening in our world, then there's so many spiritually inclined people that have been feeling this way, that I can't help but think that there has to be some type of weapon being used against us. And I'm sure it is. Friar Pestle says, "Can we have about 10 more weeks of this weather, though, JD? Sunny and cool is so nice." Yeah, it is, isn't it? I love it too, man. I love it when it's brisk. I wish we had some snow this year, at least like 1 or 2 days of it, but winter just kind of passed right on by us here in Virginia this year. I know a lot of people had a lot of weird weather, and we've been having weird weather like all over the globe. Especially the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, really, if we look at the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a lot of strange anomalies. We really have. And, depending on who you talk to, people say that, like, no, this shit just happens all the time. It's a cyclical thing. The world goes through all of this, and it does. I mean, we may seriously be on, we may be coming to it. We may be in the end days of a 12,000 year cycle where the world gets destroyed and our civilization is reborn. That is very, very possible. However, I do feel that it's more on. I really, even though, like, I'm depressed most of the time, my outlook on things is not very positive most of the time. I'm pretty much a doomer and gloomer a lot. I really am. However, I do feel that what's taking place on our globe here, ultimately, it's going to be okay. But there is going to be some growing pains, some death pangs. Something I don't want to talk about, but I'll talk about it. I do feel that it is very possible. I kind of agree with Arwayne Steiger here on this, that probably back when Obama was in office and Biden was the vice president, I think that our country, the United States of America, and maybe even quite possibly Canada also, was sold out either to China and Russia or China and Iran, probably just China. It could be, I mean, everybody's in it together anyways, but I'm talking about not just as a governmental body or entity, but as, like, talking about the people too. I believe that the American people have been sold out. I think that our country and our land have been sold. We're being occupied now. The first wave of occupation is all of these immigrants. We've been letting them in, giving them money and paying them to come here. For what reason, I do not know, because we have our own problems here with people being hungry, people being homeless. We're fighting a million quadrillion wars on every front that you can possibly imagine. The last thing we need is some more people here, but they're still bringing them. And why are they doing this? I don't know, because I think they are going to try to replace us. I do. Civil war is on the horizon, and there's going to be several different fronts on that. It's not just going to be a one against the other. It's going to be one or two different entities against one or two or three different types of philosophies and ideologies. It's going to turn into a total shit show. I do believe that the powers that be, the rich people, all those other ones, they're going to bounce out of America and go into their little underground bunkers and whatever they want, while America is actually going to be what is going to be reset. If there is a great reset coming, it's really targeted at America, because really it all starts and ends there anyways. They're tired of that. BRICS already has their own financial system that is challenging the American dollar. We're being infiltrated from every corner around. From every way we look, we're being infiltrated every single day. Thousands and thousands of more are being brought in. And, like, to what end? To what end? Because they want to bring us down from within. And that's what's happening. I really think that and feel that, like, all of the other stuff that's happening over in Europe is really just going to be a distraction for what is going to be taking place here. It's going to be nuts. Get ready for it. Because I'm telling you, people, like, we can't hide from this reality. This is coming. We're all going to experience it. We're all going to be shocked. We're all going to have our jaws drop to the floor. But are you really going to be that fucking surprised? Part of me, a very small part of me, can't wait. Because I've been saying it my whole life. And everyone just called me extreme, said I was crazy, told me I was even crazier again and again and again. Here it is. And like, so many people are in denial about the totality of this situation that they're not seeing a lot of the little Easter eggs that are just being left out there for you everywhere. I mean, a big one is this eclipse, right? It is. It's got to be, dude. Why would they tell everyone these things that they're telling them to prepare for on it's just a solar eclipse? Like to a normal muggle person, it's just a solar eclipse. Like to us, it's a very special event. I mean, I've taken off of work for 3 days and I'm going down to the beach to perform some badass magic because I know how powerful it is. But to your average person, is it really that big of a deal? No, it's not at all. Like, really, at all. So, why the National Guard? Why do I need to have food and water for 3 days? Why do I need to stay at home? Why are kids out of school? This sounds a lot like Maui Lahaina to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it? They told those kids to stay home from school too, didn't they? They gave them a little bit of warning before they did what they did, didn't they? That's the first of a lot of Black Swan events that are going to be coming in this country. You know, they did it off the mainland the first go around with the lasers. Are they going to be using lasers during this total solar eclipse? My money would be on it. My money would be on some wildfires that just sprung up out of nowhere. And no, of course, no one has any camera footage of it because we've been planning on it. We've been making this date for quite a while. But we also really want to scare people too, because we're starting to like twist up our craziness with actual biblical prophecy, because we really want to fuck people in their minds really good, don't we? Yeah, like they're starting to grab on to like all of this stuff and like talk about a civil war. Okay, talk about a brewings for a fucking civil war. What are a lot of the churches doing now? There's a ton of churches. I'm talking Baptist, Presbyterian, Episcopalian, you name it, Nazarene. They're all starting to preach that if you are not a Republican, then you are not a Christian. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That will start some shit, won't it? Won't it? That's going to start some shit up right there. You get a race war and a racial division going. We already got thousands and thousands. Before you know it, there's going to be millions of fucking illegals here. And like, who are they? Who, like, it's just all, we have tons of things to cause division here with. Like, all of this stuff is happening right here, right now in our reality. It's happening. I'm not just talking some shit. I'm just telling you what people are saying and what they're actually saying. They are. So now you have religious people that are majorly starting to get up into political shit. That's going to cause some problems here in this country. Everyone is really, they're just going. It's building to a critical mass. It really is. I know, depending on like where you get your news, depending on what you watch, depending on where you keep your head and your time and your attention, a lot of people may not really even know about any of this stuff going on. And I kind of wish that I didn't too. I would rather not know about any of this stuff. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to live my life. And I know a lot of you do too, but we are in this place right here, right now, for a purpose, for a reason, right? We've all chosen to be here in this mess that we're in. So we're going to have to see our way out of it. One way or the other, we're going to have to see our way out. And we can. but it's not going to be easy at all. Like, I'm trying to toughen myself up as much as I can because I'm scared. Like, yeah, dude, I'm scared. I'm scared about what's happening. And I know that's what they want, right? If you go another layer into it and you're talking reptilians, then of course they want fear. They're feeding on it. And there's probably other types of entities that are feeding on our fear too. And a lot of our fear will ultimately be unfounded, because I do know that there are a lot of things that are going on too that are scripted, that aren't real, that is fake news. There is fake news out there as well, yes, and that is something that we have to be on the lookout for too. But that is really where you have to hone in on your spiritual discernment. I'm going to be, and I've already started, I'm not going to be eating any meat for a while. That's just a personal decision for myself, because I do feel that it's vital right now to have the greatest sense of discernment that I can. And for me, when I don't eat animal flesh, my psychic abilities and my clairs are much more open, and I'm much more able to have like an open vessel or a clean channel for these things to come through. And when I'm not eating meat, and fasting does help with that as well. But leading up to the 8th, I'm not going to be eating any meat from now until like 3 a.m. on the 8th, after I have performed all the rituals for the total solar eclipse. I'll have a little bit of meat after that, but I'm not going to be eating any meat, and I'm also going to be fasting on that day. You know, any of these things, y'all, that you're unsure about, sit down in a meditation to the universe, sit down in a meditation or a prayer to whatever deity it is that you work with or worship, if you want to call it that, and present these questions to them about what's going on in our world right now, and like see what answers that you get back. There's a lot that the universe is just begging to let you know, and it will reveal the truth to you if you just sit in a quiet place in silence. I do it a lot. From like 3 to 5 a.m., I'll wake up and go downstairs, sit on the sofa, and I'll just sit in a quiet meditation for 2 hours, and I get all types of downloads and information during that time. Tons. The truth is out there, and a lot of it is crazier than fiction. Unfortunately, our world is pretty nutty. And I want to hold on to it, though. I want to hold on to the good old days. I want to hold on to just the good old fun times and the things that made living in this world worth it, where it made me want to live in this world. Like, I've kind of grown old of it. I'm kind of like not really about it anymore. But I want to be. And we all should be. We just have some things that we need to work out first. Just take each day, day by day. Do your best to love yourself and to love those around you, and to do things that are going to be beneficial and healthy instead of the other way around. I know I'm a person too that I want a quick fix sometimes, and I take the easy way out too. But you know, sometimes that hard road is the better one, and ultimately the one that's going to lead you to happiness and fulfillment. But just do your best to be good to yourself and to everyone around you. We're going to get through these trying times. I'm going to have some more live streams coming before April the 8th. We do have like 12 more slots available for the group ritual, taking place on April the 8th with Belial, Mothra the Mystic, and myself, JD Temple, in case you didn't know. We'll be there performing that ritual for you. It's a protection ritual and a manifestation ritual during the full solar eclipse with Belial. check out all the details in the description. And yeah, so anyways, I love you all. Smell my face, smell it good. We're coming up on 45 minutes, so I'm going to end the stream here. But thank you to Aaron and Monkey and Judas Reigns and Kevin's Corner and Friar Pestle and Blue Lobster and Nina the Mystic and CC and Meltil and Judas Reigns and your Serpist and everyone else that Nina had to kick out and Friar Pestle had to kick out. Ricardo, MF, Symmetry, Sean Tice, J.A., Neon, Fire's not here, Cara Fisher, hey Cara, Brady Daigle, what's up brother, hell yeah, Star Ruby Corsi, Aaron Stark, and everyone else that's here. And Cora at the last minute comes in. Hey, darling, it's good to see you. You did miss this one. If everybody that's here is 42 of you, if you wouldn't mind giving the stream a thumbs up real quick before you roll out, I'd really appreciate it. There's 54 people here now. So we should have 54 instead of 10. So if you could give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Look out for your boy. Looking out for you. Love you so much. Hail Belial, hail Lucifer, hail Lilith, and all the rest. I love you so much. These yellow teeth gotta roll out. Peace, and I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye.